I think one of the reasons I'm interviewing both of you at the same time is because you spend so much time together, mountaineering and pre-production in the film.
Which we really like each other.
Yeah. We do everything together from now on. Make all movies and have lunch.
That's right.
Takes a great time. It's special.
Tell me about what you did to learn the art of and the sport of mountaineering.
Go ahead.
Well, we went on a 3-week climbing holiday to Austria and Italy.
Holiday.
Well, I think it was like a kind of adventure trip, you know, something you'd send away for a magazine.
One not to be forgotten.
Yeah, it was just, it was a great.
We did some glacier work in Austria. We had a couple of guides with us. We just got in the car and we drive to different locales, and then we ended up in Italy because the weather got bad. And we're doing a week climb there in the Dolomites, and that was basically this. We ended up in the shack. Yeah, no heat and a couple of bunkers.
It wasn't glamorous, you know.
No, but it
it
was fantastic.
Did it come easy to you, or was it hard or frightening?
Well, there was a fear of heighting to be addressed.
Especially you've never done that kind of thing before, or ever thought about doing that kind of thing, and suddenly you have to do it because it's part of the job, you know. So it's like kind of pushed you into some new levels of endurance. But yeah, it was great.
It's amazing what a man can climb, what a man can hold on to when his life's at stake. I'll tell you, even no matter whenever we summited, I gotta summited, even though it was about 6 stitch climbs we got to. It's probably, am I exaggerating? 900 feet? 6 stitches or something? Sounds good. Maybe 700 feet, 700 to 900 feet, somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's right.
A pitch is a rope length. And still, whenever I get to top, I couldn't stand up. I had to, you know, kind of scoot along. You have a little smoke break up there. I figured jumping, you know, because you're right at the edge. What if?
Let's move on to politics for a second. The Chinese were not terribly helpful in the making of this film. They might have been disruptive. I now know that
the Chinese government, not too thrilled with this problem. Yeah.
What do you think of all this? What kind of political statement are you making in this film?
Well, listen, I always address things emotionally. I don't pretend to know much about politics, so I don't. And so I address things on an emotional level. I think that's the choice of actors, anyways. But no, they're not happy with this because it's a black spot on their history, you know, and in their history, and they didn't. I mean, we're banned from the countries now.
But it's a public attention, you know. So that's the main thing. Through telling a human story, through telling a character-driven story, one man's redemption, it's actually also educating a movie-going audience about something they don't understand. Or I didn't understand the complexities of it. Still got into the real complexities of it. It's far beyond you or I to know the exact details of what is possible in terms of if a withdrawal will ever come about. You know, so I don't think this movie is going to make the Chinese turn around tomorrow.
No, but it's a movie. I mean, there's a lot of elements here, but it's about on one hand, it's about taking responsibility for your transgressions, and instead of hiding this black spot, I mean, there's a lesson right there that I think they could benefit from.
Now, while the character goes through an amazing transformation, perhaps you did as well, Brad, in playing him. What do you think of this?
I wouldn't say an amazing transformation, but listen, every job you do, you know, you see the final product. When I say product, because they tell me that's what it is in the long run, ultimately. But in 2 hours, and for us, it's a half a year experience. And what was the question?
What sort of personal transformation?
Yeah, there you go. The point was you draw from every film. You have some kind of experience you take away from, because it's a big chunk of your life. And here, I think there's some beautiful themes along the Tibetan line of abandonment of ego and just the idea of a peaceful civilization that rejects violence on principle. I love that statement in the movie.
What was your reaction to the news that Stern magazine printed about Harry being a Nazi and an SS member? And
well, of course, the press. I feel like the nature of press is to jump on the most sensational story, and it actually, the truth is, I mean, because it brings on connotation of concentration camps, and that was not Hard's involvement at all. This was a man of great hubris who would take anything if it advanced himself. All he was concerned about was himself, and climbing the ladder, making himself look good. You know, this idea of fame and success, you know, patch up the holes in your life. And along the way he learns that that's not the case. So it falls right in line. It's addressed in the film. He's climbing as a representative for him, but I don't think he gives a shit. I don't think he gave a shit then. And the association, I think, is shameful, but it's a movie about redemption. And it's right in line with the story. Yeah.
It actually adds to the poignancy of the story.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what it's about.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
The film is terrific.
Good.